The raindrops slipped down the window as if the weather was crying, mourning the loss of the sun. A man dressed in leather clothes was standing nearby a bike, leaning his back against the stone wall. His gaze lingered on the phone screen, watching messages coming in, alerts from the neighborhood. A heavy sigh escaped his lips, and he brushed his gloved fingers over the metal cross, set into a star with glowing runes around it. This shit never ends, muttered the man. He slid the phone into his pocket and hopped on his bike, turning the engine on. As it purred, he smiled, feeling the arcane energy flowing through his veins. Without a second thought, he accelerated his bike, passing through the water pouring down from the impressive rain. He quickly moved through the streets, getting into smaller areas, looking at the abandoned cars with the lights on and the doors open. Everything seemed to be quiet, unnaturally, and that made the man worried. His red eyes darted through the area, and he noticed how the rain had become nothing more than a drizzle. Daniel took off his right glove, seeing the symbol carved into his palm before it started glowing with a bright hue. He moved it, using it as his source of light and protection from the darkness. The sigil pulsed, making him wince. Pressing his lips into a thin line, he moved forward, following the mix of mud, ash, and blood. The metallic stain lingered in the air as he stole a glance at a shoe left behind, soaked by the water. He muttered something under his breath, tired by the never ending missing cases that later turned out to be nothing more than demonic possessions or rifts opening from the deepest pits of hell. Daniel sniffed, detecting the faint stench of sulfur, and he twisted his face in an annoyance and disgust. His heart was steadily beating in his chest, and he felt the magic coursing through his veins. The sound of his footsteps echoed, accompanied by the splash of mud and water. A soft scoff escaped his lips. Ah, yeah, this shit again. Always the same, muttered Daniel. As the sound of the rain hitting the windows lingered in the air, he made his way to the abandoned building, opening the door. The hinges squeaked and groaned with the resistance. His leather boots splashed, leaving muddy footprints on the dusty floor. With the metallic stand lingering in the air, Daniel moved his hand, illuminating his path, feeling the pulsing sensation on his palm. The sigil was a gift and curse from the forces out of this world, making him the only one who will ever be never fully human. Within a few minutes, he found a few dead bodies scattered across the floor. His gaze swept through the area, noticing the dried blood mixed with flesh and fresh blood. Instantly, his ears picked on the dripping sound, making him look up. Pressing his lips into a thin line, Daniel narrowed his eyes, moving his hand to examine the ceiling of the building. A shiver crawled down his spine as he noticed a bloody symbol painted. With a second thought, he pulled out the dagger, and the magical symbol on the blade flickered. Daniel cautiously, yet with determination in his soul, moved through the building, getting to the metal staircase. He pressed his lips into a thin line, irritated by the creaking of the stairs under his weight. The air was filled with acrid and acidic metallic scent, making him flinch as he already knew what was happening. Without a second thought, he picked up his pace, getting to another level of the building. His glowing sigil illuminated the area, and he narrowed his eyes as he spotted a shadowy figure bent over a few dead bodies. A dark smoke was coming out of this person's body, slithering and angrily dancing with the wind, not being able to run free. A multitude of voices echoed through the area, clawing their way to Daniel's head. He flinched, gripping his hand on the handle of his dagger as if his life depended on it. His veins were buzzing with arcane energy, feeling the overflowing magic in the air, making him feel as if he walked inside a bee's nest. Daniel shook his head, trying to focus on his life's mission. Sharpening his gaze, he locked on the demon's claws, ripping his victims to shreds. There was a white and silver flicker, and the hunter already knew what had happened. Hey! How about going for a snack somewhere else, huh? snapped Daniel. His gaze lingered on the demon ripping apart a human soul, eating it. With a slow movement of its head, he stole a glance at the hunter, gripping the magical dagger in his hand. A low grumble and snarl escaped through his fangs. Ah, a damn famous Daniel Verman, laughed the demon. He slowly straightened his back, allowing the light to glint off his metallic claws. The blood was dripping from them onto the concrete floor with a soft plop. The demon laughed, and his laugh echoed with power. Do you think you can stop me? Daniel chuckled. You think I can? After all, I am the infamous hunter. And not for long, teased the demon. His cocky laugh echoed through the area, filling the air with crackling energy. Daniel tilted his head to the side, feeling the pain throbbing on his palm as his sigil pulsed with magic. He gripped his hand on the handle of the dagger, silently praying for swiftness and strength. As the demon charged, he forced the hunter to dodge a few times as his claws ripped through the air with a whooshing sound. Daniel jumped, turned around mid-air, and made a few backflips to avoid the attacks. Noticing a window of opportunity, he charged at his enemy. His dagger sliced through the flesh, touching the demon's heart with its cold and sharp tip. Say hi to everyone in hell, hissed Daniel. The demon looked at him with his glowing yellowish eyes, and a knowing smirk appeared on his face as blood dripped from his wound. Suddenly, he grasped the hunter, clutching his claws on the sides of the human body. Daniel screamed in pain. You're coming with me, laughed the demon. His voice echoed through the area, filling everything with magical power. Suddenly, the flames crackled and enveloped the piles of the dead bodies. Daniel stole a glance at everything, knowing it was the end of everything. He couldn't get out of this situation. Not this time. The demon laughed. That's right, little hunter. You are done. With quick thinking, Daniel released the handle of his magical dagger, and he pressed his hand with a sigil into this demon's face. The bright light flooded the area, and his enemy started screaming as the sound of sizzling flesh echoed. His claws released Daniel, who slammed onto the ground with a loud thud, gasping for the air. The infernal flames consumed the demon, taking him back to hell, where his master would punish him for failing to bring more human souls. Lying on the cold floor, covered in blood mixed with ashes, Daniel looked at the ceiling of the abandoned warehouse, and a bitter chuckle escaped his lips. He winced in pain, feeling his body convulsing as the powerful heat enveloped his muscles. His screams echoed, and his clothes clung to his body. After a few minutes, he blinked a few times, groaning in frustration as he was fully healed. He yelled in frustration, "Let me die!" screamed Daniel. Slamming his hands against the stone floor, he pressed his lips into a thin line, knowing that he would have to continue fighting and hunting demons, as this was the wish of the higher forces, something he couldn't refuse.